Hello, folks. My name is Danilo Pincheira Muñoz. This is the final guided technology project, Hair Garage application, in order to finish the higher diploma in Science of Computing in CCT College. Let's start. Project context. It was thought to develop the scenario given by the lecture to create a mobile application for a mechanic who runs a small garage, where he carries out the maintenance check for all kinds of small to medium vehicles, examples, motorbikes, cars, small vans, small buses, and pickup. He has also a small number of mechanics working with him. He offers 4 types of service: annual service, major service, repair, and major repair, which the user needs to select in order to bring their cars to the garage. Also, in most of the cases, a maintenance will require another supplies. For example, brake fluid, engine oil. So the mechanic needs to have a common stock of supplies in the garage. So in other words, he needs online service to allow customers to book their vehicles in for a checkup or service to keep his business digitalized and working. Waterfall methodology. Why this methodology was chosen? This methodology was chosen because this is very effective in the software developer environment, because it's easy to understand and easy to implement. And it was chosen because Hair Garage has a sequence of stages that they need to be complete in order to go to the next stage. Gantt chart. As we can see, the initial Gantt chart is marked with light blue points, but during the progress, I had to add more time marked with red points in the backend, front end, and professional report due to the complexity of this project. Literature review, technologies, database, MySQL. MySQL is an open source that allows to manage database based on a relational model. It was chosen because I have some experience working with it and it offers many benefits. It can be used with Java. It's one of the most secure databases in the world. It offers high availability and it has very good scalability. Backend, Springboard. Springboard is an open source that provides to Java developers to get started with an auto-configurable production. And it was chosen because during the course I was working with it. It offers good benefits. I save time avoiding the complexity of XML configurations, files, or annotations. Java programming language is one of the most popular used programming language and platforms. It offers high scalability. Java components are easy and available to use. It was chosen because it was one of the technologies that I spent more time during the current year. And Springboard and Java made the perfect combination in order to create softwares with strong qualities. API HTTP request and response. This is used for the communication between the front end and the back end. It uses the hypertransfer protocol. Also, it defines the HTTP verbs. JPA, Java Persistent API. It is a collection of classes and methods to persistently store vast amounts of data into database. This technology was chosen because using Java provider framework allows easy interaction with database instance. This was not covered with the current course, so it was a challenge to face because it was the first time that I used this technology. Hibernate. Hibernate is a framework that simplifies the development of Java application to interact with database. Front end. React Native. React Native is a popular JavaScript-based mobile application framework that allows to build mobile applications for Android and iOS. It was chosen because I have been creating different apps during the second semester, keeping up-to-date knowledge. JavaScript. JavaScript is a dynamic computer language. one of the most popular language for building robust, dynamic, and interactive mobile applications for Android and iOS. It was chosen because, with the framework React Native mentioned before, the features and uses of JavaScript make it a powerful tool for building mobile applications. Node.js. Node.js is an open-source, cross-platform runtime environment for developing server-side and networking applications. It was chosen because it provides the Node package manager and a rich library of various JavaScript modules. Deployment. Deployment was thought to be added as an additional feature. Heroku. Heroku is a cloud platform that deploys several backend applications for hosting, testing in production, or scaling the application. It also has the integration with GitHub that makes the deployment easier. Let's go to the demonstration of the application, testing and evaluation of the functionalities. This is the application, and now we are going to create a user. The user is created successfully. The application will redirect me to the login. So let's log in now. Here in the code, we use the fetch API to connect with the backend. It receives a string, and here I convert the string into an object again. Here we have an if and else condition. So if the username is not equal to admin, it will redirect me to the home user. Otherwise, it will redirect me to home admin. Now we are going to store a booking. Pick the engine, the service, the date. Let's book for Saturday. Time and a comment if it's required. As we can see, we have some conditions because I missed one number. So now in the email, I miss a dot. There is the booking created successfully. Let's create more bookings. Okay, it says that the booking has reached the limit for this day because the booking can receive only 4 bookings at the same time because there is 4 mechanics working at the garage. So let's see in the code what is happening with the conditions and with this function. Here is using the post mapping annotation, and the method receive the token and the object booking. The object booking is this. It contains the ID, generated the number in the database object user with the relation defined many to many with this table. The staff using the JSON ignore the user detail with the relationship 1-to-1. The vehicle object with the relation 1-to-1 because the booking can contain only one vehicle. The service type, date, comment, supplies, cost, the status. Let's go to the booking repository. So we're using GPA. I had to create a booking repository interface that inherits the GPA repository. There is the methods that I can find in the GPA repository. Also, I have added some methods to find the bookings per date, bookings per user, by ID. So let's go back to the first controller. The token is divided in 2 parts. The first contains the bearer and the second the token. This contains the username because sub equals to the username. Here is the searching by username in the repository. So if the user is not null, we create the instance calendar and we set the time of the current booking. So we get the hour of the current booking, and this is the counter to count the bookings per hour. The first condition is that the booking cannot be accepted on Sundays. So if the booking day equals to Sunday, there is not going to be possible and we are going to get this exception. But I had some problem here that when I mark here on Sundays, it doesn't allow me to store bookings on Saturdays. So I had to move one day, and when I mark on Monday, it doesn't allow me to store bookings on Sunday. Here is another counter to count the bookings. And this is the for each to go through all the bookings in the repository using again the find all, the method that I showed you before in the repository. So here, the booking service, if it starts with major repair and the date is equal to the date of all the bookings, we count the number of bookings and the bookings per hour. Also, if the current booking is equal to others booking in the repository, I will count again because it has to count double if the service equals to major repair. Here we set the date and we get the hour. So if the hour one mentioned here is equal to hour two mentioned here, we count the bookings per hour. So if the bookings per hour is less than 4, we can go through all this code. If it's bigger than 4, we go to this exception that booking has reached the limit. So if the number of booking is less than staff repository count, it counts all the stuff stored in the repository and multiply for the worker capacity that is defined here as a final int, as a constant. So we receive the service and find the service by name. And if the service is not null, we set the booking and get the user, set the user. We set the status of the booking. We set the cost of the service, and we save the booking in the repository. And we return the message that the booking is created successfully. And there are some exceptions to show if the booking goes wrong. Let's see the other functionalities. View all the bookings for these users. So we can see the booking, all the bookings that he did. The print invoice we can't see because the booking has to set the status to complete. Let's go to the admin. Okay. Register a mechanic. Okay. View the mechanics. So there is the mechanic. View the bookings, all the bookings in the database. Find bookings per week. Okay. Add the supply. So we are adding, for example, battery to the booking number 1. Okay. date the status of the booking. So the number one, we are going to set it to complete. So now we are going to create the roster per day. So we have to enter the ID of the mechanic and the ID of the booking. Okay. So we're going to add the two. Okay. We can see the roster per day now. 14. Okay. So this mechanic has two bookings. And now we go back to the user part. We will see the invoice for the booking one because it is set to complete. And also we can see the additional supply added. So we go back to admin to see the errors. This method needs to implement the year because for the current year it's not a problem, but when I trying to find a booking in a specific week for the next year, it's going to crash because the numbers of weeks will be the same, and we can avoid this implementing the year to difference the searching. Here we are in the front end. This library to style the date picker is giving me errors because it doesn't allow me to load date picker file. So I moved to work with datetime picker, but it didn't work properly. So I keep using date picker. Conclusion. As a conclusion, I can say that I'm very happy with my work, effort, dedication, and time that I put into this project. I believe that this project achieves the requirements given in the Hertz Garage scenario. I'm very happy with my knowledge acquired from scratch this year and for the opportunity to improve my abilities every day. That's all. Thank you so much.